Up next, CX-5 versus Tucson, plus what's really going on? Down there, in a car dealership, yet another Volkswagen ownership horror story and a big swinging handful of salty nuts. Yes, right at the end. Mostly from Retardistan. I'm John Cadogan from AutoExpert.com.au, the place where Aussie new car buyers save thousands off their next new cars. Hit me up on the website for that. Do you still think the Tucson is better than the Mazda CX-5? Is the auto manual dual plate transmission on the Tucson as good as, better than, or worse than a standard auto? This is not a simple answer, Grasshopper. It's just not. Two complex questions right there. Tucson versus CX-5 and the dual clutch versus conventional auto. Last question first. Conventional autos are more refined and more compatible with low-speed manoeuvring under load. But dual clutches are better for sporty driving and they save you a heap of fuel over the life of the vehicle. If you're towing a heavy load, and especially if you are going to manoeuvre that load slowly, get an auto. I've reported on this issue kind of endlessly by now. Just click here somewhere for more. There'll be a magic link. CX-5 versus Tucson now. They're both very good SUVs, but Hyundai wins on warranty. They're typically better value and they're better at customer support than Mazda. And here I'm talking about the companies themselves. You need to bear in mind that individual dealers of all brands can be dicks at times, or not. Tucson has a full-size spare tyre, Mazda has a somewhat more hateful space saver, and Mazda's iStop system is awful. I really don't know why they bother with that, because no other feature, so-called feature, degrades the driving experience more than iStop. Yeah, you can turn it off, but you have to do so every time you start the car, and that gets old. However, and this is a big however, I strongly advise you to wait if you are buying a Tucson. A facelift is imminent, and apart from the inevitable cosmetic upgrades, it's been revealed the new one will get the 8-speed auto we've already seen in the Kia Stinger, Sorento and Carnival. That 8-speed will be in the diesel Tucson only. The petrol powertrains, the 2.0 Atmo and the 1.6 turbo, they're going to carry over. Adaptive cruise control, the radar one that adapts to traffic congestion, will also be added, although at this stage it's unclear whether that's going to be standard across the range or just for the Highlander or part of a safety pack that's optional in the lower grades. Adaptive cruise is really good. It's like business class, so it's pretty hard to go back to economy afterwards. But it does increase crash repair cost because there's a radar dome right there in the grille. Therefore, take care when parking nose in anywhere and hope some tradie with a tow bar does not park in the manner of Ray Charles while you are getting out your wedding vegetables and having them waxed or whatever. I think they're also going to add a surround view 360-degree camera system for the supremely spatially challenged. I'm looking at you, Retardistani Trump voters. Quick shout out to the United States of Retardistan. Yes, you know I love your country deep down because you have nukes and a nutcase with the launch codes currently. Lack of adaptive cruise has always been the big plus for the CX-5 v Tucson, but even there, only the top spec Akira gets adaptive cruise, so it'll be interesting to see whether Hyundai upends Mazda by offering adaptive cruise across the Tucson range for 2019. The Tucson facelift is due sometime in the third quarter this year. Note to Santa. You say car dealers buy their stock from car companies, so they need to sell as much of their stock as possible, and if they sell a certain amount, the car companies give them a bonus. Is all this true? Yeah, knock me down with a feather, it's all true. When a car dealer here in Shitsville takes delivery of a car, he owns it. Selling that car is his problem. There is immense pressure to sell. Car companies pressurise dealers, and the carrot is a huge undisclosed bonus if they meet their sales targets every month. So if you see a new car on that lot that is the right colour and the right spec for you, the dealer is highly motivated to sell it. More motivated to sell it than if he has to order one specially for you or pinch a car from an adjacent dealer and then split the profit. So make a firm, low offer at the end of the month and see how you go. If he's motivated, you could be very lucky indeed. My Tiguan has been leaking oil from the turbo since new. It is 2 years old. I left it at Osborne Park Volkswagen for 2 weeks whilst on holiday for the 4th attempted fix. When I got back, they had driven it 500 kilometres. They said they wanted to drive it as much as possible to make sure they had fixed the leak. That's kind of typical. A Volkswagen with a seemingly minor problem that they're too incompetent or unmotivated to fix. Balance of probabilities, they know you were on vacation, so some peanut in the service department with a bone through his nose, most probably, decided to use your car as his personal transport for a fortnight. Yes, customer service. And yet, some of you still wonder why I don't recommend you buy a Volkswagen.
Hey, I'm from Retardistan, and I resent your statement not all have used the imperial system.
Yes, I can tell from your distinctive writing style that you are indeed from Retardistan.
Well, Cadogan, turns out you're a bit of an idiot. Why on earth would you simply write off the 100 million Americans and many more millions all over the world that support Trump? Goodbye.
100 million and many more million. Really? Assuming that voting for Trump is the minimum requirement to qualify as a supporter, it might interest you to learn that Crown Prince Donald Tiny Hands III, Imperial Melon Gagger and Lord of the St. Petersburg Yellow River Water Sports Academy Laundry Service actually received only 69,979,879 votes in the 2016 presidential election. That's a long way from 100 million, I'd suggest, and that's according to Newsweek, not fake Newsweek.
So, what about George W. Bush and WMD? Remember that we went to war because of it? Now that's a lie. We forget about all the other presidents and their BS. Cheers.
I feel quite sorry for W. Here's a guy who thinks he's got America's dumbest president right in the bag forever. And then, just 8 short years later, along comes Trump.
My God, you are a real piece of work. We don't need comments from your backwater of retards.
No, you don't. But if memory serves, the First Amendment of the Retardistani Bill of Rights legislates the freedom of speech and a free press. And I guess that's fine until you don't like what some Shitsvillian YouTuber indignantly says about Retardistan's Stormy Gagger in chief.
Hey, dickhead, instead of speaking gobbledygook, why don't you just get one and see if it works? Fucktard.
Hello, HHO nutbags, and thank you for your ongoing contribution. 2 things. Gook. No longer an appropriate term, surely, no matter how friendly this purported gobbling thereof. Second, the cool thing about science is predicting future outcomes accurately based on what is established. Thanks to this gobbledygook, I can bet your life that there is no way to generate hydrogen gas and oxygen gas from water on board your car, which results in a meaningful net thermodynamic benefit. You cannot do this and increase fuel economy in any meaningful way. Humanity is already stocked up on dumb shits, of course, but we desperately need more scientifically literate people, specifically engineers, because engineers use science to solve problems and make human life better. Except the ones making weapons. They're assholes.
Hi, balding cocksucker.
I'm loving you already, Barbara. I mean, I know men who would pay handsomely in cash to have any woman say things like this to them.
If I wanted to hear a time-melting 15-minute video comprising shitty French accents, cringeworthy colloquialisms, after-the-fact business strategies and management decisions, and totally extraneous information about news events from 2010, I would have enjoyed this video. But sadly, I didn't. Reported for misleading thumbnail, reported for misleading title. Thank you for those reports, Barbara. I'm sure YouTube was very grateful to receive that information. Haters are the most honest members of any audience, counterintuitively enough. And yet their words say one thing, but their actions quite the opposite. They watch the whole report and they take the time to write a compelling dissertation on it, sometimes even in English. And of course, there was more. Kindly note, the ZB Commodore is made in Germany. You know, like the BMWs and Mercedes-Benz and Audi and Porsche. Heard of German precision and technology? Please get heart disease and fuck off.
Barbara, Barbie, you're seriously suggesting that there is a parallel between Porsche and Holden. What colour is the sky on your world? The ZB Commodore is a dog whose fleas have mites and whose mites have pox. According to Redbook, its projected resale value is just 18% after 5 years. That's the lowest of any new car on the market. Holden is on death row. You can't look away. It's that grotesque. Unlike you, Barbara, you are a delight, ray of sunshine. I would love the opportunity to catch up and share some deeply personal insights I have formed about you in an unguarded, frank and open manner, just as you have done with me. We could sell tickets. The tit-for-tat grand final. Until then, of course, I salute you. Nicely topped and tailed there, right from hi, balding cocksucker, to please get heart disease and fuck off. Your review of my work was unputdownable. I was hanging on every word. Interesting that you want me to get heart disease and then fuck off. I suspect most people would do that the other way around. I'm John Cadogan. Let me know what you really think in the comments feed below. I can take it. And if you really hate it, subscribe. You know you want to. Thanks for watching.